Fight fans, and more fight fans. This is Kurt DeVille with Counter Punch Boxing News. And I got this trending topic. I got something new, some new evidence from a new interview that I just saw, and I want to talk about it. This is by popular demand. This is for one of the friends of the channel. He said, well, hey, can you make a video about what Barry Hearns said regarding the AJ and Wilder predictions and our negotiations, rather, right? And he said that he had a talk with Anthony Joshua and his son, and the fight should wait at least 2 years to make, because right now it's I think 70-80 million. It's worth 70-80 million dollars right now. But if you wait this time next year, fall another year, which we've already waited a year, okay? So if we wait another year, it could be twice as big, and Shelly Finkel was ready to throw his fighter, cash his fighter out for that fight right now, which Finkel was crazy for doing that. And I look at that and I hear that. I have heard Anthony Joshua say that same thing and similar things, and I think that's where he got it from. I think that was the source, Barry Hearn, because it's strategy. It's strategy. I think now you're looking at this and you add this to it. That makes perfect sense. AJ and the Hearns, okay, they wanted to push this fight because they know this would be a big, huge money fight. An American heavyweight versus a British heavyweight for all the belts. And it makes more sense now because what has happened, Anthony Joshua has 4 of those belts. Deontay Wilder has the last belt. It can't help but to be a big fight at this point, especially with all the negotiations, the back and forth. Now I can see why he did reject the $50 million and to fight over here, because he's already been coached. It's already a strategy, a business deal that's already in the works. Why would you take $50 million when you know there's a possibility of fighting this time next year for probably $200 million? And again, I forgot to add out this key component. Barry Hearn did mention the Pacquiao and Mayweather fight, on how they waited and the fight was so much bigger when they did fight, regardless of the pedigree or, the actual accuracy of the fighters at that point, being older or aged. But it just shows you it's the boxer first, the fan second, and everything else after that. Okay? So it makes perfect sense. It makes perfect sense. They wanted to hold this fight out for long periods of time, at least another year, so it can get bigger. That was the strategy the whole time. But here's the only problem. Amateur night. See, if Deontay Wilder and Shelly Finkel, if they were smart, they would have submitted to terms easily. Then we could have knew who the culprit was. See, the only thing Deontay Wilder and Shelly Finkel did, their eagerness to make a fight, they really weren't looking at it in another perspective, okay? They were looking at it with emotion and, and thinking they had their heart on their sleeve when they should have been thinking business. And what I mean by that is this, simple. You don't make it hard for someone to duck you or to avoid you. And they made it hard. They made it hard for the public to see who the hell is actually ducking the fight. You know what I'm saying? You could say all day, well, he's ducking the fight. They're ducking. Anthony Joshua's, their side, they're scared. They're ducking this fight. They don't want to fight me. We offered this dude $50 million. They didn't take it. But then yet I waited a while. I waited a long while before accepting the terms that they gave me. And even though I knew it was bullshit. Well, if you knew it was bullshit, why didn't you take it to show the public, okay, I've agreed to terms when he asked me to take it? That's the problem. Deontay Wilder's camp, they did not do the right thing at the right time. Then we would have knew. It only leads to more excuses at this point. What Barry Hearn said is, hey, we're going to make this fight when we're going to make this fight when it gets bigger than what it is now. That's all they're saying. So that tells you, well, yeah, they were probably just bullshitting the whole time. However, okay, yeah, let's throw him that 12.5. Okay, let's make it 15. Okay, let's add another fighter onto it. All they were doing is stretching out that time because they wanted to wait enough time to let this fight build and marinate. And I seen an interview with Anthony Joshua saying the same thing. He was like, "Yo, it's not a thing about fighting him now. We could fight him next year, probably the year after." That was like late last year, earlier this year. He was saying that. So that puts it right on time. So yeah, they're probably thinking Tyson Fury right now because Tyson Fury, if he goes in there and gives it a good go, they'll have a rematch. And by the time they have a rematch, nobody will be worried about Joshua and Deontay Wilder anyway until later next year, this time next year. You see what I mean? And so all Deontay Wilder, like, hey, they scared. He went to the social media and stuff like that. Yeah, he did want that fight. But the thing is, his antics, again, he wanted it or whatever. He wanted to not take the fight when it was offered to him because he was like, I know this is bullshit. Why they doing me like this? But then it's like, well, then you accept it. That's the problem. You should have accepted it then. Then they would have had to come up with another excuse. Then we would have knew it's bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Instead of waiting that amount of time until negotiations started with Povetkin. Okay, so that's what happened in that situation. Yeah, this is the whole thing the whole time. Thug versus the businessman. Anthony Joshua was a businessman. He's not worried about what Deontay Wilder says about him. And Deontay Wilder's worried. He's pissed off. They're mad. They're upset because, again, instead of having a business mindset, they got a thug mentality. The thug mentality is, you're pissed off. You don't want to talk. You don't want to negotiate at this point. Oh, I'm going with Tyson Fury. And, I'm going to say hell with all y'all over there, with the Hearns. The hell with all you. Right? So, but you just made it easier for the guys to do what you want them to do instead of taking that money. He should have took the $12 million when it was offered to him. If he would have took that 12.5 quick, there would be nothing else they could say. That's why it was no date and no venue on it, because they wanted that date at a certain time. As long as you take that fight. We didn't say we're going to fight you right now. The fight ain't big enough to us. It ain't worth the risk for my fighter right now. You know what I mean? It ain't worth me fighting you now. We want this fight to build. And that's what they're doing. So Deontay Wilder, they just made it easier to confuse everything, to give someone saying, well, hey, why didn't you take the money when it was offered to you? It just leads to more excuse after excuse after excuse. Whereas if you had no excuses, you call the bluff at the point when it was offered to you, because that's how it works. We offered 12.5 million. Boom. You should have went on social media instead of saying slave wages and all that bullshit. You should have just said, hey, all right, yeah, I'll take it. Why would you wait later to say that? You made it easier for them to hide or for them to stall you. That's all the Wilder camp did. Shelly Finkel and all that, he looks like a crook, but he's the one, we offered him. That was all baloney. We replied back, and I have emails stating that. Oh, to show us the emails. Don't say we have something and don't provide it to the public. That's what new media is about. You can provide new information quickly. You know what I mean? Without someone saying, no, I did this, and then, people have documented videos where you said certain things. That's what got everybody caught up a lot. You know what I mean? Like the $50 million. But if it's, why would you worry about $50 million if you can make 100? 6 months after the fact that when everyone wants you to fight. Look, here's the thing. I'm gonna say this and I'm done with it. Anthony Joshua knows. Anthony Joshua and Eddie Hearn knows they're the A side. They can make that fight whenever they want to make it. They're more comfortable making more money as they possibly can. because being the A side means they were the better businessmen, and they were the better businessmen in this situation because they're doing. Deontay Wilder is doing what they want him to do. Stall the fight, fight someone else. We're gonna fight you in September. Now I want you guys to remember this video I made. This fight will be made between them. That's if Wilder loses, which I don't think he's gonna lose. I don't think he's gonna lose to Tyson Fury, but if they're still undefeated at that point, look at the money. Just look at the money. And remember this video. I'm going to put a link to this video as a recap this time next year when that fight gets made, because I don't think there'll be another super fight at that point. And the super fight will be in September between Anthony Joshua and Deontay Wilder. But anyway, you guys tell me what you think about this. Please subscribe, leave your comments below, and you guys been counterpunched. Peace.